rent wasn't paid, proper notice was served. And in court, excuses don't stop evictions. This is what happens when the law is followed, step by step. The judge explains that the apartment complex filed a sworn complaint. According to the complaint, Miss Brown did not pay her rent, and she was behind on November's rent, owing $439. Both sides are then sworn in, and the judge says the court will now proceed with the case.
All right. And so what's going to happen next, ladies? I'm going to give you, Miss Chen, the opportunity to speak first. You know, it's up to you to provide proof to me that the defendant, Miss Brown, did default in the terms of her lease by not paying rent. It's also up to you to provide proof to me that you complied with all the laws of this state as they pertain to evictions. Now, while Miss Chen is speaking, I'm going to ask that you, Miss Brown, refrain from interrupting her. I need to make sure I hear everything that Miss Chen is stating. Okay, Miss Brown?
Yes, sir.
Afterwards, once Miss Chen is through, I'm going to give you, Miss Brown, the opportunity to defend yourself. It's going to be up to you to provide proof to me that you should not be evicted for whatever legal reasons you can deem so, approve so. And while you're speaking, Miss Brown, I'm going to ask that you, Miss Chen, refrain from interrupting her so I can hear everything that Miss Brown is stating. Okay, Miss Chen?
Yes, sir.
All right. With that being said, are there any questions before we proceed on with today's case?
No, sir.
Okay, Miss Chen, you may proceed with your case, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So I have a lease agreement dated July 22nd for a monthly housing installment rate of $659. There is a concession of $220 per month, making the rent owed $439 per month. We do need to amend our petition to ask for November and December's rent, please. But outside of that, we do have an electronic signature on this document going until the end of July 2026, or July 21st, 2026. This was signed by us. The last payment we received for this housing installment was October 3rd. And so we have failed to receive any payments in November and December. And that is why we filed for eviction. We served a 3-day notice to vacate. It was hand delivered on the 8th of December.
Okay. I'm looking through some of the documents you provided to me. I see that you provided me with a copy of the notice to vacate. Looks like Mr. Whittington was the person who actually delivered this. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I also have, looks like it's a summary. It's a ledger, which details all of the transactions. And this is up until December 7th. And as stated in your testimony, the last time you all received a payment, you said October 3rd, but it does say from October 3rd right here. $195. I see that. The next document I have in front of me is a lease between you and the tenant. It does indicate that it was executed on or around July 22nd, 2025. Everything was done electronically. And it does detail the terms of the lease, as you stated on the oath. All right.
The apartment representative confirms that no rent payment has been received and they are asking for eviction. The judge then gives Miss Brown a chance to speak. Miss Brown says she does not object to being evicted and is already packing and planning to move out. She explains that the process is slow because she doesn't have a vehicle and no one is helping her move. She also says she didn't pay the rent because she did not receive her full Social Security check.
I'm on disability, so I only get one check once a month. And I informed them that I didn't get the full payment. And they said that I had to pay the whole thing before it got the eviction notice. And I don't have that amount of money. And I've tried to ask people to help me, but I don't have that much family. And so I'm moving out. I'm not trying to stay here any longer than necessary. I just have a hard time packing because I don't have any transportation the car that I received from my mother when she passed away, the tags are out and I don't have a driver's license. So,
Miss Brown, have you been here before?
yes, sir. I was here a couple of weeks ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago, but the situation hasn't changed for me. I don't really have help. My fiance works every day except
Uh,
for weekends.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Miss Chen, what happened with that case about 2 weeks ago?
Um, I think it's because they didn't give me the eviction notice the right way, so we
Proper
had
notice
to.
to vacate.
Yes, sir.
So this time around, they did give you proper notice.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All
He
right.
did hand it to me.
Okay. That was the problem last time. So I didn't mean to stop you, but
Oh no,
it's
it's okay.
Groundhog Day. I heard this your response from the last time, and it again. I heard it. So there's no really defense. It's just that you're just having a hard time getting everything moved out. I heard,
Yes.
you telling me about your fiance and about your financial situation. I was just wondering. I said, I know I heard this case, before, but now, I remember what happened in
Yes,
regards to
sir.
that. Okay. All right.
That's the only thing. Like I'm trying to get out as soon as possible. I'm not. I don't have any funds to pay the rent. I didn't get my full check this month. All the money is going towards working on the RV that we have. But other than that, I'm trying to get out as soon as possible.
Okay. Okay. Based upon everything that I've heard today, I'm going to rule for the plaintiff. For possession of the property in question, 2826 South University Park Drive, apartment 928, C is in Charlie, Waco, Texas, 76706, as well as back rent in the amount of $878. That's $439 for November, $439 for December, plus court costs, which is an additional $144. You, Ms. Brown, have the right to appeal. Your appeal bond is set at $878, and you have 6 days from today's date to appeal. In the event that you do not appeal on or before that sixth day, and if you are still occupying the premises, then at that time you, Ms. Chen, may, on behalf of the Grove at Waco, file a writ of possession. A writ of possession is where the constable will serve you with a final notice, giving you 24 hours to move out. If you do not comply with that 24-hour notice, then at that time they will be back over there within the time frame with an agreed upon date and time with Miss Chen. I want to make sure that I'm clear. After you are served with the 24-hour notice to vacate, Miss Chen and the constable's office will have an agreed upon date and time to meet back over there. They will not notify you of that date and time.
The judge explains that the eviction could happen at any time, early in the morning or later in the day. Only the apartment management and the constable's office will know the exact time. Miss Brown is warned that the constable may arrive unexpectedly and peacefully remove all her belongings, placing them outside the apartment.
And so I just want to make sure you're clear, that I'm clear on this. You do have the right to appeal. If you do not appeal and you do not honor the notice given to you after the written possession has been filed, then the constable will be back over there to execute it. Do you understand, Ms. Brown?
Yes, sir. So I have 6 days to get everything out.
You have 6 days to appeal, and if you're still staying there after the appeals date has expired, the constable will give you a 24-hour notice to move out.
And is the appeal for paying the back rent or is just to...
The appeal is disagreeing with my judgment today. That's what
Okay.
the appeal is. Okay. Any questions?
I do have a concern because they told me that my rent that I would owe was close to $2,000. If I had known it was only $800, I would have found a different way to pay it. But they told me...
Let me explain. I do not award late fees. I do not award utilities.
Mhm.
And any other fees that may be charged upon you, that's something that I do not honor in a judgment. The only thing that I can honor is the back rent and court costs. So
Okay.
whatever amount that they are telling you actually owe them, that is purely between you and them. However, the judgment legally can only be for back rent and court costs and maybe attorney's fees. Okay?
Okay. If I
All
would
right.
have known that, I would have had the 800. I had the 800.
Brown, you're not understanding. Okay. Let me see if I So here's what I'm trying to tell you. In court, the judgment is only for back rent and court costs and maybe legal fees. But the amount you actually owe them is totally different.
Okay.
Okay. So what you actually owe them is more than the judgment amount.
Okay.
All right. So even if you would have taken $878 to them, you would have still been evicted because it's not what you actually owe them. I can only grant them judgment for back rent and court costs, not for late fees, not for utilities or any other fees that you had agreed upon in your lease.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. That being said, judgment faith for the.
The tenant explained her hardship. The court explained the law. When rent isn't paid and notice is proper, eviction becomes unavoidable. Subscribe for real eviction cases and courtroom realities.